Hello, this is IronBill. Today I'm bringing you a video showing you how to jump to the chest after Callie, I believe it is, and before Shiro Chi. And it's been said that some classes are easier than others, and I want to show you today how to set up your classes so that you can absolutely make this a breeze to do. So we're going to start with our Titan, which is my least favorite, and you can see that I have nothing special on the uh, gun side, and if you look at my setup here, the only thing significant is the Lion Rampant. Now the Lion Rampant is what makes this work in this particular case. Now you could probably make the jumps without it, but what Lion Rampants do is they give you a boost to your mobility while you're in your jump. And if you read here, I can't read it on my screen here right now, but it tells you exactly what it does do. So it's a massive boost to this particular section, so if you have them, equip them, this will go much easier. Now, after you put in the code there, which you can play back and you can look at, when you step on the pad, you die, and it takes you out to the area near the bridge. And this takes a little bit of a second. I cut this out of the other two pieces because I didn't think you needed to see it again. So here we go. This is where we start. We're heading towards this pillar. Now all we really need to do is just kind of make our way up this backside here. Once we're on top, everything's a breeze. I try to hit this peak here. I try to hit that next peak right there. You see I clamber up. Now it's a little slippery, a little tricky sometimes, but eventually I get on it. Now you're going to jump up and to the left and push around. This is where the Lion Rampants really make it easy to do. Now we have ledges on the back. I'll hop up here. It's an easy jump now. Here's a secondary jump that's very easy to do. And clamber, and we're on top, just like that. Now, you see where we are. Now, we're going to jump across here. Now, the thing is, you want to be careful not to hit your head on the bridge and fall short. So I usually kind of taper off the jump and then hit it again after I drop a little bit of a level. Once again, Lion Rampants are really good for that particular maneuver. Then just carefully run along the rail here. I usually hop off at that point. When you jump this time, push out to the left a little bit so you don't hit your head on the roof and once again, knock yourself off. Now you're going to fall down here, immediately feather, wrap around to the right, and land on this platform. And once again, you line yourself up on the next rail, but this time it's going to be broken. So you want to just aim towards the other side and scoot across. There we go. And you notice I feathered again to avoid hitting my head. Alright, and once more, this is the final rail. Now we're going to drop down and look for this ledge below. Start feathering right there, feather again, and you are in. And there's your first chest. Now I will say right here that I am not a particularly great platformer, but this, with a little bit of practice, is a very, very simple series of jumps to make. And set up your equipment right, and you'll have no trouble at all. Once again, there's the wall. This time we're on the Warlock. Now, I did something a little bit different this time. I ran two bows. I did that for a couple of reasons. They're lightweight bows, for starters, which will help the mobility. And you check it out here. The Spiteful Fang is a lightweight bow. That does boost your mobility. And I'm also running an Arsenic Bite, which does the same thing. So whichever one I have equipped, I'll have a small boost to mobility. Nothing else really matters here except for the exotic, which is the transversive steps. Now, once again, it doesn't say, when you look at the description of the transversive steps, it doesn't really say that it boosts your jumping, but it does boost your mobility while you're floating. And that's awfully key. I feel like it does boost your height a bit. It definitely boosts your speed. I'm going to go ahead and slap on mobility here and raise it up a point. And you see I went from 5 to 6 in mobility, which is going to be more than enough. For those of you who say that Warlocks can't jump, just watch this. The only thing a Warlock cannot do in the jump is once you're committed to the jump, you can't go higher. And by that I mean, once you reach your peak height, that's that. And if you fall below a level and try to jump, let's say that you had a ledge that you're trying to get to. With a hunter, you could jump at it, drop below the level, and pop back up. And to some extent, you can do the same thing with the Titan. You absolutely cannot do that with a Warlock. Now, I'm going to feather at this point so I don't hit my head, and then just drop right down. No problem. Scoot right across the rail. Now, if I was running a hunter here and I fell off the edge, I could clamber back up, or I could hop back up. Cannot do that with a Warlock, so be careful on that rail. Alright, here's the second rail. Again, push out to the left slightly whenever you jump to avoid hitting your head. You have plenty of ledge there. You can immediately drop down and feather, and you're on it. Nothing to it. Now, this is the open one. So I'm going to jump across. You notice I bumped my head slightly there because I didn't feather it. You're probably better off to go ahead and take that bump, because if you feather too much, you are going to fall. And then you just drop right down here, feather, feather again, and one more time, and you're on. What you don't want to do is hit that wall and push yourself out. I find the Warlock a very comfortable jumping class in most cases. Eater of Worlds, not so much. Okay, so here's the Hunter. This time, the gun I'm running is the Midnight Coup, which is a lightweight hand cannon from the Leviathan Raid. Very good all-around cannon. This is going to boost my mobility on the Hunter. Nothing special about anything else that I'm running, other than Stompies, the exotic boots. And you'll come to that in just a second and see what that's about. Alright. And you see my stat numbers really even aren't all that great. But look at what the Stompies do. I cannot overstate how much Stompies improve the jumping of a Warlock. I'm sorry, of a Hunter. It's just night and day different. And if you don't have these and Zero happens to sell them, you immediately go buy them. Even if you don't have a Hunter, you probably should buy them in case you ever make a Hunter. They are that good. Alright. So, here we go. And for those of you who don't have Stompies but run Hunters, you can already see the difference. Pop, 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 mantle it. Jump up on that little ledge right there. Got it. Jump around to the left. The Stompies will help you control yourself in the air, just like the other two exotic boots for the other classes. Okay, and up the same path. Easy peasy. And then just straight across. And again, you can allow yourself to drop a little bit, because you know you can always boost back up. You can play this a little more fast and loose, though I would say first time through I'd take my time, make sure that I was staying on the rail. And you don't have to dodge to the left quite as much with this because you can stay below the level, but it doesn't hurt. Just drop, pop, and you got it. Alright, almost in. Alright. Now I've heard variously that this class doesn't jump well, that class doesn't jump well. But I hope by watching this video you can see absolutely it's a breeze to get to this chest with any of the classes if you set up your classes properly. And with that, this is MrIronBill signing off.